So the phrase talking to your text doesn't mean that I expect your text to answer back to you. What it means is as you read, questions pop into your head about what you have read or what you are reading. And that is what it means when it says talking back to your text.
Today, your reading spiral, because you are going to be writing down the thoughts that pop into your head while you read today. So, you're going to put today's date on your next blank page. I will use a pen. I want you to use a pencil. And we're going to call this talk to text. And what I want you to write down today as you are reading, you don't need to write down every single thing, but I want you to write down at least 5 questions that popped into your head while you were reading your book. You're going to list your questions. So, if I use the magical Ms. Plum, the first question I asked, and I asked you guys too, was who is Miss Plum talking to? Now, I do not want you to write down this question about Ms. Plum. That's my book that I'm writing about. You're going to be writing down your questions for your book that you are writing. This is just an example. Another question that we had about that I had about the magical Mrs. Plum was how come they kept talking about the smile of the kids that had Ms. Plum as a teacher? Why was that important? You do not need to answer your questions right now. You may not have enough information with where you are in your book to answer your questions, but you do need to write them down. Today on Seesaw, at the very end of reading, you're going to be taking a picture of your questions and turning it into me. I expect at least 5. At least means you have to have 5, but you can always have more. You cannot have less. You have to have 5. What questions? Do you see how close my spiral is to my camera so that I can see my text really clearly? I want to be able to see your text, your writing really clearly. So get your spiral up close. If you didn't label it, put today's date, and it's called Talk to Text. And this is where your questions should be written down from your reading today.